weeks, the authorities have tried to hold the floodwaters back with dikes, canals and barriers. But now a change in strategy. The gates have been opened, water allowed to run through.
One of the characteristics of traditional Thai society, a society characterized by abundance. Compared with many other societies, you didn't need that much labor to survive in Thai society. And fish, indeed, there was plenty. Fruits, there were plenty. You only had to work not more than half a year to get enough food for the whole year.
In the Ayutthaya area, most of the area are flat and it's good for rice farming. In Thai we say ในน้ำมีปลาในนามีข้าว and this is like the proverb. In the rice farm there is rice, in the river there is fish, and we never have a problem with starvation.
The city of Bangkok is a place where we have a lot of canal in the past. We have already a brand as a Venice of the East years ago. But because of the development, because of urbanization, all those canals disappear one after another.
The urbanization extended to everywhere, and waterways and canals, a lot of them disappeared, perhaps more than 60%.
When we were first called, the Venice of the East is totally changed, and we have already forgotten about our own traditions or culture with living with water or everything. It has already been sort of like disconnect, from the old time.
Every year from the history, Ayutthaya area was flooded, but people were ready for the flood. But people today, after they didn't say flood for several years, and they thought that the flood will never come again, but they were wrong.
Floodwaters from the north have arrived, an estimated 16 billion cubic meters of water flowing towards Bangkok and onto the sea.
Fighting a losing battle against rising waters, the worst flooding in Thailand in decades is inching closer and closer to Bangkok. More than 300 people have already been killed since heavy rains began in August.
I remember I was standing on the Bund of Bangkadi looking out at around 5 o'clock in the morning. I could not see road, I could not see river, I could not see house because they were all submerged already. We were all covered, totally covered with water.
One of the most famous phrase during the flood crisis was by Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. She always say, "Ao yu ka." That's in Thai, it means we can handle it. She said it all the time, "Ao yu ka." We can handle it, we can handle it, we can handle it. But the reality is, even the headquarters of the flood relief operation center have to be evacuated twice.
We went to the local evacuation centre, but army trucks were taking its occupants away. The floods had closed it down.
พอน้ำมันเข้ามันก็เหมือนกับเป็นอ่างกระทะเนาะพอน้ำแต่งมันเข้าบุ้มบุ้มบุ้มบุ้มบุ้มบุ้มอย่างนี้เลยน่ากลัวมากน่ากลัวมาก
วันสุดท้ายเราจำไม่ได้นะเพราะเรามาทุกวันตอนหลังก็เดือนกว่า and it remain well higher and then to the same level for so the house was flooded for 1.5 months and we did not imagine that the flood would stay so long a time because in my experience again when I was young and the flood came to Bangkok and it took about a week or so and the water was clean. When I was young, flood was enjoyable. Children ran playing with the water, but this flood was I myself don't want to call it flood. I would like to call it a disaster, in liquid disaster. Flood used to be kinder. Flood used to be somehow necessary for the farmers to grow their rice in the field. It was necessary for them, right? Right now, I don't know if it is.
We were flooded about 3 meters. About 3 meters high inside. And 44 companies, about 80% are Japanese, completely destroyed. 80 to 90% of our staff, their house were flooded.
Nobody pay, but everyone want to protect our second home. For example, my house also flood, but I came here also.
If we talk about the hard disk drive and some of components that produce here and were flood, how this will interrupt, it definitely interrupt the global supply chain. So firm, if we were the firm, we must reconsider what should be the strategy of the further investment.
And right now, at this very moment, there's a fear in Thailand that Japanese businesses might pack up and move somewhere else.
As any country, they need to have companies like us to operate here. And of course, now the government, they are very concerned about, for example, if you go back to the floodings, they are concerned about the companies, especially the foreign companies, they are located here. They want them to stay. Some companies, they have threatened to move because of this.
Of course, the flood that damaged industrial assets were the critical issue for us this year because if those industrial assets and factories inside were flooded again, this would destroy the confidence of investors. That's very important that they still have confidence in Thailand.
ตอนนี้ก็ลงพวกพื้นครัวเดี๋ยวที่กินได้ง่ายๆคือผักสวนครัวและปีนี้เยอะมากไม่ให้ความสนใจตรงนี้ไม่ให้ความช่วยเหลือแบบจนเราแตกคือกันมาเองว่า
เพราะอะไรยังไงคุณไม่มาดูแลไม่มาเยียวยากันเราบางทีเราไม่ต้องการให้เขามาเยียวยาเท่าไหร่มากนะแต่ว่า
แต่ขอให้มาดู
ใจอะค่ะ
สักนิดนึงอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
เอามาดูมาเหมือนว่าใช่มาให้กำลังใจกันบ้าง
They concerned about this industrial area very much. The government policy pointed to the economic policy, not the social policy. The people life, unseen people.
ที่ลุ่มของในจังหวัดกรุงเทพอะค่ะ
ทุกปีเป็นที่รองรับน้ำเลย
ใช่เป็น
ที่ท้องกระทะ
ใช่เป็นที่พื้นที่รองรับน้ำอยู่แล้ว
แล้วก็จะเยอะจะน้อยน้ำมันจะลงมาตรงนี้ทีเดียว
คือทางการก็จะต้องรู้อยู่แล้วว่าพื้นที่เราเป็นที่พื้นที่รองรับน้ำแต่ว่า
และปีนี้เยอะมาก
ไม่ให้ความสนใจ
ไม่ให้ความ
Bangkok City is the floodway, whether you like it or not. The water from the north and the northeast upper part of the country will be discharged through the sea, must pass through the city.
Water is a good thing. The fact that we are flooded means we have so much water. Water is a blessing. It's an agricultural blessing, and it's a part of life. It comes and it goes, and it flows through our country, and it flows through the fields. And even though it's hard on the one hand, I think that on the other hand, Thai people tend to look at it that way. It's part of life. It's part of nature. It's here now, but it'll pass. It'll flow out. It's water. It goes. It doesn't stay forever.
Even when some of the families stay behind, the consequences of remittance transfers are complex, and as we said, they vary from study to study.
To touch up on the issue that I have talked about so much. It's about ASEAN, the association.
So in the geopolitically.
เขื่อนภูมิพลนี่เมื่อตอนเริ่มสร้างนี่ใช้งบประมาณไปประมาณ 2,200 ล้านบาทในเวลานั้นนะครับแล้วเสร็จเมื่อปี 2507 ใช้เวลาก่อสร้างประมาณ 7 ปี
ถ้าจะซูมเข้าไปดูนะครับอยู่ที่ตัวเลขตรงนั้นนะครับ260นะครับเทียบระดับน้ำทะเลกลางอันนั้นคือระดับเต็มอ่างแล้วนะครับ
Strategically located at the heart of a booming and bustling Asia is Thailand, the gateway to Asia. World-class infrastructure and logistic systems, impressive industrial clusters and supporting industries, liberal investment policies, and strong government support for investors.
The Thai government tried to promote industry everywhere. But naturally, the firm will choose the best location that minimize their transport costs from outside, import material, export goods, or deliver to the Thai domestic market, right?
Thailand is ready to become an Asian hub, offering you unparalleled investment opportunities.
路就食十敗能拼大奶湯，當流
So 24 years ago, we started Bangkadi Industrial Park, and we were among the very first private industrial estate in Thailand. Even though at that time we also understand that the land along Chao Phraya River normally would be lowland because it used to be maybe rice fields and whatnot. But we checked, and at the same time we thought that we would be able to manage.
โตชิบะจะยิ้มสู้กับคนไทยและไม่หยุดนำสิ่งดีๆสู่ชีวิตคุณ
The city of Bangkok had extended to everywhere.
บางครั้งตกทางภาคเหนือตอนบนแต่ไม่ตกทางภาคเหนือตอนล่างหรือภาคกลางบางครั้งตกเฉพาะภาคเหนือตอนล่างกับภาคกลางแต่ภาคเหนือตอนบนไม่ตก
แต่ปีที่แล้วเนี่ยเรื่องน้ำเนี่ยเป็นเรื่องสำคัญมากนะครับเพราะว่าสิ่งที่เราเป็นห่วงเนี่ยมันก็เกิดขึ้นจริงๆเนาะว่าเราอยากจะปล่อยน้ำร่องอ่างของเราให้เยอะๆเพื่อจะได้มีพื้นที่รับน้ำรับพายุได้แต่เราปล่อยไม่ได้พอปล่อยไม่ได้สุดท้ายแล้วก็คือจำเป็นต้องปล่อยพอปล่อยไปแล้วเนี่ยมันก็มีปริมาณน้ำเยอะอยู่แล้วนะครับมันก็เลยไปรวมกันเป็นน้ำที่ก้อนใหญ่มากนะครับ
There are many canals moving the water from the north on my left hand side to the south on my right hand side. There are a lot of canals deliver the water to the ocean. But those canals has been blocked by infrastructure. Thai-Swedish Assembly. Volvo. Well, on this road you see at least two or three already. You see IKEA. IKEA is Swedish, right? And you saw the Volvo and Scania. Scania also Swedish. You see three of you on this road. You see that big canal?
Yeah.
You see that from the north?
Yeah.
To the south. This is the major canal, and you see those foundation, and you see all the soil and mud accumulated on the at the foundation. This is a frontage road up here. This is the local bridge, and this is the highway, and this is the super highway. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 different things, and
Yep.
this is the thing that preventing that the water deliver to the ocean.
Many canals and waterways replaced by streets and roads. They didn't have time to clear the way to the sea. And here, around here, They founded many canals and waterways. Many of them disappeared from the map. Only houses, factories replaced these canals. Some canals, old pictures can show how wide it was. For example, Tui Watana here. In the past, it was around 40 meters wide. Today, it is only 10 meters wide. So it is really narrow, too narrow to drain the water down to the sea.
In the older day, we had different attitude. Flood was part of ecosystems, and we tend to live with that. We're trying to find way to live with that. So, if we look back 100 years or so, flood is not disaster. It's part of ecosystems. However, when it starts to have negative impact or negative effect onto some system or sector, especially when it has impact on the human settlement. We've been trying to control the flood from, I think, date back in the histories. We're trying to control flood. And when we can't control it, it becomes disaster. The flood seems to come back more and more oftenly, partly due to the climate and partly due to the change in the way we manage the rivers. So I think it's a combination of many changes that happened in the society over the past at least half centuries. How the flooding area has evolved in terms of land use and land cover. But anyhow, it's end up that seems to have more and more flood.
We know that in Netherlands, that's the guru of flood management and those damn things. And the department of government that control roads and canals and then dams, actually one single unit. In Thailand, it's totally different. People who control the water from the sky, meteorology. When the water touch the ground, that's go to water resource. When it flow, that's go to royal irrigation. When it go to the sea, that go to hydrographic, Department of the Royal Navy. So basically you were talking 4 different departments and perhaps 4 different ministries that has to work together.
I think what you are looking at is most likely problems coming with bureaucratic red tapes. Every department, every agency have their territory, have their people. They're always bickering. So it's difficult to get all these people on the same pages, and therefore it's difficult to have one single command, one single direction to tackle this flood crisis.
At the moment, we are going to construct the new dike around Bangadi.
I think what will happen is that corporations will, erect walls around their manufacturing plants, but it'll happen at a kind of private or corporate, an individual level. I wouldn't expect too much from, the government.
What we found first, after the industrial estates, yes, you can see higher walls, and we travel far from here. Smaller towns, smaller communities, they are doing the same, build up the concrete walls. I don't know perhaps 5 meters or 6 meters, depending on how much money they have.
Oh yeah, there was a big conflict and contrast. You put the sandbag up like a wall to protect one area, and the other side went down underwater.
It's not effective if each household prevent their own. It should be the system.
Often it happens like between the rich and the poor.
ความผิดหวังคือพลังสั่งใจให้เราอดทนเกิดเป็นคนใครจะพ้นจากความผิดหวังไม่มีโลกใหญ่ใบนี้ไม่มีแน่นอนอะไรดอกฟ้ายังมีสิ่งพลาดพลั้ง
ถ้ามาพรุ่งนี้มะรืนเขาจะปลูกก็จะเห็นเป็นช่องที่เขาทำนี่คือทำที่ไงคือทำที่เหมือนเราทำนาแต่ว่าอันนี้คือทำยาก
Another one is in the technical
Take this one too.
I don't believe in so many things. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in science. I don't believe in insurance. But I believe that this is a result of men struggling too hard against nature, and this is the punishment we deserve.โชคร้ายตลอดชี